Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go to Auto Club Speedway here for the Xfinity Series and the Monster Energy Cup Series. And for the first time this season, I was actually in the Xfinity Series car for this race. Obviously our team still got some work to do on the Xfinity side, but we're definitely slowly making improvements at the start of this season, where I think we're going to be a top 15, top 20 competitor within a reasonable amount of time, hoping within the next 5 to 10 races. I'm not sure if we're going to be a playoff car this season, but obviously we'll find out later down the line now, as we were coming through turns 1 and 2 at this point, past the midway point of this race, struggling to even get in the top 35 here at Auto Club, but on the final lap now running in front of Elliott Sadler as I went down through turns 3 and turns 4. Thankfully, we would be able to hold off Elliott Sadler here as we exited turn 4, trying to get past that car in front of us, but just didn't quite have enough as we would come through to cross the line here at Auto Club to get P37, unfortunately. So still lots of work needs to be done here for our team as we get ready to go to the race here for the Cup Series.
The West Coast swing continues with a trip to California and the Auto Club 400. The stars of NASCAR are ready to take the stage and tackle this 2-mile D-shaped asphalt oval. So grab your popcorn. Today should be quite a show.
All right, thank you, Rick Allen. You might be wondering, where was the qualifying lap? Well, we're kind of acting as if this time here in Auto Club we failed inspection, so we're being sent to the back of the field to work our way forwards throughout here in this race today, as Kyle was well prepared, so look for him to be very strong. But you've got to throw in sometimes a little bit of a curveball, as like we're getting an inspection issue, and I decided today was the day that we were going to do that here at Auto Club as we start from P40, as the green flag is that we are underway here at Auto Club Speedway. Bubba Wallace there with, I believe that was that fan-made paint scheme that contest was for Plan B sales. One of my favorite paint schemes actually of the season. I think that's one of the best schemes on the track now as we go down towards turns 1 and towards turn 2 on this opening lap here at Auto Club. Obviously starting down here in 40th. Lots and lots of work to do for us here today as we exit turn 2 on the back of Brendan Gaughan. Looking to the inside of him, we're going to make it 3 wide up the inside of them early on here. Obviously it should be no contest at all to breeze past all of these guys here as we go down towards turn 3. But Kyle Busch, he started on the pole. He's been pretty strong in our career mode this season. He's always strong in our career mode. Obviously he dominated the Miami race last season when he made it to the Final Four looking for championship number 2, but then in the final laps he actually fell apart and lost it all, and Joey Logano got the championship now as we come through on the second lap through turn 3. Now up inside the top 30 at this point as we got in behind Daniel Hemrick. Continued to move our way forward on lap 4. Now up to P27, looking to the inside of the 95. Kyle Busch still leading the race at this point as we battle side by side with the Benedetto, but we end up getting our first caution of the day. Must have been an incident behind us somewhere because I don't see anything going on up in front of us. So obviously no need to make a pit stop here, so we get right back into the action as the green flag is back out here at Auto Club Speedway. Matt DiBenedetto now to our inside as we're P26 as we start back up here. 8 laps to go in this first and opening stage. So far we've only gained about 14 positions or so since the start of the race, so definitely got to get our way moving forwards more quickly here as we come through turns 1 on the back of the 34 of Michael McDowell. Now as we're going to try to look to the outside of him as we go down this back straightaway, making a 3 wide with McDowell and Matt DiBenedetto now 3 by 3 actually, because you see in front of us they're going 3 wide as well. Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin all in your top 3 right now as we come through turns 4. I actually got down onto the apron, but I noticed that when I dove down to the apron through turns 3 and turns 4 that the car seemed to actually slow down, and that would give the AI more of an advantage. So that's something that we'll have to keep in mind later in this race. As Austin Dillon had no momentum at all. Now all of a sudden we had moved up into the top 20. We had gotten past Ryan Blaney, our rival Kyle Larson, and we had continued moving through here on lap 10 to 14 of the stage. Now up to passing our teammate of Clint Boyer to get P13 there as we hit just 4 laps to go here on the stage. Denny Hamlin, he had actually taken the lead for a brief amount of time, but Kyle Busch took it back as we started this final lap here now in the first stage towards the back of Jimmy Johnson as we come through turns 1. Elliott trying to pinch us down the best he can through the center of the corner, but Kyle Busch, he leads away down the back straightaway on this final lap in stage 1. Truex and Johnson side by side, and I decided, you know what, we're going to be a little helpful here to the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. I push him down the straightaway as we go down into turns 3 for the final time here in stage 1. Truex trying to hold on to that last stage position, but I'm trying my best actually to help Jimmy Johnson get a point as there's a car going to the pit lane in front of us. It's the 22 of Joey Logano who is having issues on the last lap of the stage, and we're going to come through to cross the line just behind the 48 of Jimmy Johnson and get P11 here in stage 1. So we go from P40 to P11 as Kyle Busch wins the stage, picks up another playoff point as he's having a great start to the season so far. I think he had a really good start last season and then kind of faded a little bit. But we took 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires and came in P11, and we come out in the 11th position as we get ready to go green here for stage 2. Truex and Jones just in front of us as the green flag is back out, and stage 2 is underway. Kyle Larson actually side by side with the 14 of our Stewart-Haas Racing teammate of Clint Boyer on that row behind us. Casey Elliott to my outside right now as we make this dash down towards the first corner, a couple laps shorter here in stage 2 as it is only 12 laps as we have this inside lane advantage as we look to the inside of our teammate of Eric Almirola, who really has had a bit of a struggle this season so far at the start. He's never really a guy that we're looking up at the front. Obviously, there was a stretch of races last season in our career mode where Almirola, he was up there contending for wins on a consistent basis that spanned about 3 to 4 races, and he actually went and won Pocono against Tyler Reddick. Now, as we come through out of turns 4, Kyle Busch, the stage 1 winner, moved all the way to the top lane, and look how much time he lost now as we are right on his back bumpers. Harvick leads away at the first lap here of the second stage. Now, as we actually get to the wall there, as we go down towards turns 1, Johnson trying to get to the inside of Keselowski to put himself into a top 5 position. He missed the playoffs last season in real life and in our career mode as well. Now as we come through out of turn 2, clearing the 18 of Kyle Busch, we would continue now with this battle. We had passed Jimmy Johnson as well. Kyle Busch, though, he had actually got back past me and driven away, as now all of a sudden here on lap 4 of 12 in the stage, things weren't starting to go quite my way as Truex, he had gone past me. Reddick obviously here in the mix. Denny Hamlin as we come through. We're going to make it 3 wide though with Reddick and Hamlin as we cross the line. 8 to go here in the second stage. But Kyle Busch, he was quickly moving his way back through traffic as he had actually climbed back up into the second position behind our teammate of Kevin Harvick, and he would actually be able to pass our teammate of Kevin Harvick and drive away as we had started to climb our way back forwards here on lap 8 of 12 in the stage, passing Alex Bowman, and now up and back in the top 5 now as we go down this back straightaway, putting the pressure now on Martin Truex Jr. in the 19. Sure enough, we get to the left-hand side of him down the straightaway into turn 3. Keselowski in that 3rd position and Harvick in P2 now as we would be able to get ahead there of Truex as we came through turns 3 and out of turns 4 now as he would try to battle back, but it didn't quite have much for us. There's Alex Bowman. He was also in the mix. But certainly moving our way forwards quite a bit because it would continue on to lap 9 of 12. We would continue looking to the inside now of Brad Keselowski. As I went down towards turn 3, we would be able to pass him and then get to our teammate Kevin Harvick with 2 to go in the stage and get side by side with him as we went down into the first turn. And he would now obviously not want to give up that position too easily, but we just drove right on past him and took P2, but didn't quite have enough time to get to the 18 of Kyle Busch. I didn't think we actually quite had the speed to match Kyle Busch now as he was a rocket here today at Auto Club Speedway, so we're definitely going to know that we got to watch out for Kyle Busch as we go down into turns 3 at this point, approaching the final lap of this second stage here in Auto Club. Harvick trying to put on the pressure there as we came out of the corner, but didn't quite have much. But now as we came through turns 1 and turns 2, he built up a huge run down the back straightaway, and he actually gets to my inside as I was actually fighting the car a little bit on the exit of the corner, and that allowed Harvick to pounce on the opportunity as we go side by side towards turns 3 for the final time here in stage 2 at Auto Club. Harvick trying to hold on to that second position. Kyle Busch easily going to win the first stage and now the second stage as we come through out of turns 4 using that draft from Harvick, and we're going to look to the inside side by side with our Stewart-Haas Racing teammate as we come through to the line. Kyle Busch wins stage 2 and Harvick hangs on for P2 as we get 3rd, Keselowski 4th, and Alex Bowman in that 5th position here in the second stage. So certainly showing some speed here in the 41 car today as Jimmy Johnson rounds out the top 10, so stage point for him. We would take 2 cans of fuel again, 4 tires, no changes to the car. I felt like we had a pretty good consistent car throughout this race. So we gain 1 spot on the pit lane, and we will restart P2 alongside Kyle Busch on the front row as the green flag is out, and the final stage is underway here at Auto Club Speedway. Behind us is Harvick and Keselowski on that second row. 18 laps remain here at Auto Club, so obviously a decent amount of time to get something done as we have the edge over Busch into turns 1, but the inside lane is going to easily prevail through the center of the corner. We try our best to hang on to it, but I just couldn't quite get the car to turn to the point where I could actually stay tight on the 18 and maybe hold his progress back, but unfortunately he gets clear as we go down this back straightaway using that draft from the 18, and even with the draft, the 18 is so fast that I couldn't even get to the inside, but he chooses the outside into turn 3, so we get to the inside. Now Harvick, he's going to make it 3 wide as we come through the center of the corner now out of turns 4. We're going to side draft the 4 really hard now on the exit of the corner. 3 wide behind us between Bowman, Truex, and Kyle Busch, and they're going to join the party as we cross to the line, side by side, and they're going to take us 5 wide as we go down towards turns 1, contact with Harvick, and now into the side of the 88 we go, and sideways, Alex Bowman goes through the center of turns 1 and 2, we hit him again, and spinning the 88 of Alex Bowman goes, as that's going to bring out a caution here at Auto Club. 5 wide for the lead into turn 1. I've never had that happen, I don't think, in any NASCAR game, and obviously it did not go well. We fall back to P11 after that incident, and we would have to get ready to go back green here. Thankfully, we didn't get any damage out of that situation, but I felt bad for taking out the 88 of Alex Bowman. We all just got grouped together there. I was side drafting my teammate of Kevin Harvick so hard that it allowed the other 3 drivers that were already 3 wide to just go to our outside and completely mess everything up, unfortunately. So certainly learned something from that one as we go through turns 1. We just got punted from behind by the 42 of Kyle Larson, so we found our rival sure enough as we come through the center of the corner. Now he tries to kind of chop our nose down this back straightaway as we came out of turn 2. Now side by side with our teammate of Clint Boyer, but like I said, we didn't get any damage out of that incident. Bowman certainly did, but he's definitely still got a car capable of running really well as we come through the center of turns 3 and turns 4, closing in on the back of the 42. We're going to look to the outside and utilize that draft from the 20 of Eric Jones to hopefully get us past the 42 of Kyle Larson now as we try to look to the outside of Jones, but the run fades out. Now Larson, he's crowding us up towards the wall and he tries to turn us to the inside, but we hang on to it, but Kyle Larson doesn't. He gets hit by Bowman, and now into the outside wall, hard and huge crash here for Kyle Larson as he goes flipping through turns 1 and turns 2. This rivalry has taken a huge turn here in Auto Club as Larson has completely flipped his car over trying to wreck me and ruin my race, and he obviously just ruined his own race by barrel rolling through the center of the corner, as that was a huge crash for the 42 of Kyle Larson. Somehow we didn't get any damage out of it, and he tried to hook me going into turns 1, and that's why you saw my car just get sharply pulled to the left, and thankfully we held on to it. Larson certainly needs to reconsider what in the world he is doing on the racetrack now, as Alex Bowman unfortunately got collected in another incident, but he actually now has some repairs on the cars. We go down this back straightaway 3 wide between Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman, but all of a sudden stage 3 has been off to a wild start as we came through on the same lap, completing the lap 9 laps to go make it 3 wide with Priest and Kyle Busch on the outside of us as we went down towards turns 1. At this point, Logano, he was leading the way. I was all over the place. I didn't really know what was happening at this point in the race. We were battling for the lead, and all of a sudden we found ourselves now down in P11 at least on lap 45 of 50. Kyle Busch had continued driving his way forward, and my progress was a little bit slower. I passed Eric Almirola to re-enter the top 10, but I didn't have the draft from the cars in front of me, so that's obviously not going to be very good as we come through now on lap 46. Harvick had taken the lead, but the caution came out here with 5 laps to go, and now this is going to force a late race restart. It's actually going to be 2 laps to go in regulation, no overtime necessary, as the green flag is back out though. 2 laps remain here at Auto Club. Myself and Kyle Busch, P9 and P10. We were battling for the lead earlier, and unfortunately things took a negative turn here as we go down towards turns 1. 2 laps remain, just getting clear of our teammate of Eric Almirola now, as Kyle Busch is getting very aggressive through the center of the corner. He gains a good group of positions now as he's up inside the top 5 as we go down this back straightaway. Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch. They're all in that mix right now, battling for this victory as we go down towards turn 3, approaching the final lap here at Auto Club Speedway. We've had a wild final stage, and we get sideways there, getting onto that white line as we come out of turn 4, just barely ahead of the 20 of Eric Jones. Now we got Reddick on our outside, and Joey Logano as well here in the picture, as Martin Truex Jr. is actually looking to the inside of Kevin Harvick here as we start the final lap in Auto Club. He gets through to take the lead into turns 1 as I make a bit of a mistake there, touching the apron and sliding up the track, but we get into the mix, but I don't know if we're going to quite be able to make it happen now as we exit turn 2, going down this back straightaway for the final time. Kyle Busch is right back up there in P2, passing Kevin Harvick and putting the pressure on his teammate of Martin Truex Jr. as we go down towards turn 3. We send it up the inside of Bowman for the final time here through the center of the corner. Harvick leads the outside lane. He's going nowhere. Kyle Busch puts the pressure on Truex as we clear Bowman, and now we're going to try to get to the inside of Kevin Harvick, but Martin Truex Jr. will hang on to the victory here at Auto Club as we come through to finish in the 4th position, just behind our teammate of Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch in P2. Kurt Busch, he DNF'd the race and finished in the 40th position, as we still haven't picked up a playoff point this season. But I said after the race we had a strong car, but got caught up in some stuff, and I'm excited for Martinsville at the paperclip. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. In the next one, we do go to the paperclip, but what a wild race it was here today, at least in the final stage of Auto Club. Kyle Larson making a really dumb move, and it unfortunately ended up having him on his roof. But that will do it for this episode, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.